Happy Thursday, my Vikings. It is time for announcements and work and some other stuff to do, but you know, it's Thursday. First of all, it's pajama day. I am wearing my Living My Best Life pajamas, and wearing pajamas after I take a shower drives me crazy. So yeah, this will probably go away as soon as I leave. Let's talk about our announcements today. First of all, I'm sure you heard the news that the superintendent of schools said that schools are going to be closed for physically closed for the remainder of the year, but distance learning is going to continue. That, I don't know much more than what you know at this point. Mr. Casais is having a meeting today. Us teachers are having a meeting tomorrow. We'll find out. We'll probably still keep doing this, but we are not doing this next week. Why? Because according to my calendar, according to your calendar, next week was supposed to be spring break. So we are taking spring break off. If you want to read a book because you just want to read a book, read a book. If you want to draw pictures because you want to draw pictures, draw pictures. If you want to play your guitar, your ukulele, your clarinet, your violin, your flute, play them. But we're not doing this stuff. And we're not even going to do this stuff. I'm going to let that sit on the shelf for a while. Yeah, we need a break, and I need to get out of my office. So that's what we're going to do. Meals are going to be changing at school. Next week, during spring break, the Voorhees staff and cafeteria ladies will be there Monday and Tuesday. They're going to kind of start closing down and centralizing the meals so that the cafeteria ladies can get some time off. That is a hard job. Oh my gosh. In the 2 days I helped work the line, and thank you, Brandon, it was nice seeing you, and Jasmine, I saw you too. It was over 2,000 meals. It's insanely busy. It's insanely crazy. It is physically hard. Seriously, when you go back to school, make sure you are always kind to those ladies. They are a godsend. So meals are going to change. That Voorhees is still going to be a meal staff, but we're going to have more people in the neighborhood coming in. They're shuttering it at Hort and at Stern and just focusing on Voorhees. We are going to be, and they're going to be just doing meals Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Fridays are going to be double meals. So if you come, you'll get Thursday and Friday's meals. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, so there's that. Plus there'll be another packet available after spring break. So I will let you know this way. I'll let you know on Dojo. BCSD will give you notifications. I'm sure there'll be robocalls. Find out what's going on. The other thing, AR, Matthew. I think you can take AR tests at home from 8 to 3. So go on, see. If it doesn't work, let me know, and I can talk to Mr. Casais about it. All right. With that, we're going to talk about the packet for day 8. I think that's mostly announcements. We're going to talk about the packet for day 8. And the reading today, I want to do what's in the packet, 11. This is one of my favorite stories of all time. And they offer you just 4 little questions on it, and it's such a beautiful story. So we're going to focus on that today. If I have time this afternoon, I'll pick up and do Sea of Monsters chapter 6, but we'll go from there. And yesterday's video, I don't know what happened to it, but it is almost ready to load. I'm sitting here watching it upload, so we'll go from there. All right. Boom, done. Packet, day 8. First thing we have is straight out of our math book, the coordinate plane. Now, we've covered this. Remember, the first thing says identify the point for each pair. Oh, basically you find it and you put the letter next to it, and then it says then the other one gives you the point, and then you put the coordinate, the ordered pair, and which quadrant. Remember, the quadrants go 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, 1 is positive, positive, and 3 is negative, negative. 2 is negative, positive, and 4 is positive, negative. Remember that they are like opposites from each other when you cross. So that's all that is. And then you're just, yeah, and then 17 through 27 just says, well, what quadrant would they be in based on on positives and negatives. So take a look at that. The back is a grid. So if you want to draw one out, you can. All right. So what's going to really give you fits? Well, first we have one of these, which remember, what do I want you to do with this? Just answer it. However it makes you happy. I am not going to have a fit about, oh, well, you didn't do a double number line, so no, I don't play that game. It's just a rate question. On a bicycle, you can travel 20 miles in 4 hours. How many miles can you travel in 1? So how do I get from 4 to 1? I have to do what? Divide by 4. And if I do it to the bottom, I do it to the top, because math is all about balance. So that's all there is to that. Now, the currency exchange is another rate problem, but we're dealing with much bigger numbers. So it says, Joe was planning a business trip to Canada, so he went to the bank to exchange $200 US dollars for Canadian dollars, or CDN, Canadian dollars, at the rate of $1.02 Canadian per $1 US. Now, those of you who've traveled to Mexico know that when you go and you bring in a dollar, you don't get 1 peso back. You get something else back. If you've never traveled out of the country, let me tell you, our money is exchanged for other countries' money when you go. They don't use American dollars and all this. It's really kind of cool and fun. And I'm sad I don't have my purse in here with me, because I always have a €5 bill in there from when I went to Ireland a couple summers ago. So it's kind of cool that you can do these things, and it's kind of a nifty souvenir to take back because you can't use it here. All right, so let's go back to this. So he has, it's $1.02 Canadian for $1 American. He's got 200 American dollars. Well, how did I get from there to there? I multiplied it by 200. So you're going to do the same thing there. And I know it's going to seem like a really big number. It's $1.02 times 200. I think you can work this one out. So once you get that, then you've got, his boss says, no, you're not going to Canada, you're going to Mexico. So he's like, I've got all this Canadian money, what do I do? Exchange it for pesos. And it is 10.8 pesos for every $1 Canadian. Well, once you figure out this, you know how many of these he has. You'll multiply it and multiply it. So it's not really hard. It's a lot of words, but the math is pretty basic. So give it a shot. It's actually not too bad. I'm actually excited by today's packet stuff because, like I said, favorite story of all time. And I love doing things like money exchange because it makes me think about travel, and travel makes my heart happy because I love seeing the world. And I really hope that when you are an adult, you see the world too, because it's out there and it's worth seeing, seriously. All right, so favorite story of all time, 11 by Sandra Cisneros. And Sandra Cisneros, you will read her pieces from now until college. She is that good. What they don't understand about birthdays, and what they never tell you, is that when you're 11, you're also 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And when you wake up on your 11th birthday, you expect to feel 11, but you don't. You open your eyes and you feel like everything's just like yesterday, only it's today. and you don't feel 11 at all. You feel like you're still 10. And you are, underneath the year that makes you 11. Like some days you might say something stupid, and that's a part of you that's still 10. Or maybe some days you might need to sit on your mama's lap because you're scared, and that's a part of you that's still 5. And maybe one day when you're all grown up, and maybe when you need to cry like you're 3, that's okay. That's what I tell Mama when she's sad and she needs to cry. Maybe she's feeling 3. Because the way you grow old is kind of like an onion, or like the rings inside a tree trunk, or like my little wooden dolls that fit one inside the other, each year inside the next. That's how being 11 years old is. You don't feel 11, not right away. It takes a few days, few weeks even, sometimes even months before you say 11 when they ask you. And you don't feel smart 11, not until you're almost 12. That's the way it is. Only today, I wish I didn't have 11 years rattling inside me like pennies in a tin Band-Aid box. Today, I wish I was 102 instead of 11, because if I was 102, I would have known what to say when Mrs. Price put that red sweater on my desk. I would have known how to tell her it wasn't mine, instead of just sitting there with that look on my face and nothing coming out of my mouth. "Whose is this?" Mrs. Price says, and she holds the red sweater up in the air for all to see. "Whose? It's been sitting in the coat room for a month." "Not mine," says everybody. "Not me." "It has to belong to somebody," Mrs. Price keeps saying, but nobody can remember. It's an ugly sweater with red plastic buttons and a collar and sleeves all stretched out like you could use it for a jump rope. It's maybe 1,000 years old, and even if it belonged to me, I wouldn't say so. Maybe because I'm skinny, maybe because she doesn't like me, that stupid Sylvia Saldivar says, "I think it belongs to Rachel." An ugly sweater like that, all raggedy and old, but Mrs. Price believes her. Mrs. Price takes the sweater and puts it right on my desk, but when I open my mouth, nothing comes out. You're not mine," I finally say in a little voice that was maybe me when I was 4. "Of course it's yours," Mrs. Price says. "I remember you wearing it once." Because she's older and the teacher, she's right and I'm not. "Not mine, not mine, not mine." But Mrs. Price is already turning to page 32 and math problem number 4. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I'm feeling sick inside, like the part of me that's 3 wants to come out of my eyes, only I squeeze them shut tight and I bite down on my teeth real hard and I try to remember today I am 11. Mama's making a cake for me tonight. When Papa comes home, everybody will sing happy birthday to you. But when the sick feeling goes away and I open my eyes, the red sweater's still sitting there like a big red mountain. I move the sweater to the corner of my desk with my ruler. I move my pencil and my books and my erasers as far away from them as possible. I even move my chair to the right a little. Not mine, not mine, not mine. In my head, I'm thinking how long till lunchtime? How long till I can take the red sweater and throw it over the schoolyard fence, or leave it hanging on a parking meter, or bunch it up in a little ball and toss it in the alley? Except when math period ends, Mrs. Price says loud in front of everybody, "Now, Rachel, that's enough." Because she sees I've shoved the red sweater to the tippy-tip corner of my desk and it's hanging over the edge like a waterfall. But I don't care. "Rachel," Mrs. Price says. She says it like she's getting mad. "You put that sweater on right now and no more nonsense." "But it's not now," Mrs. Price says. That's when I wish I wasn't 11, because all the years inside me, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, are pushing on the back of my eyes when I put one arm through one sleeve and the sweater that smells like cottage cheese, and the other arm through the other, and stand there with my arms apart like the sweater hurts me, and it does, all itchy and full of germs that aren't even mine. That's when everything I've been holding in since this morning, since when Mrs. Price put the sweater on my desk, finally lets go, and all of a sudden I'm crying in front of everybody. I wish I was invisible, but I'm not. Today I'm 11, and it's my birthday, and I'm crying like I'm 3 in front of everybody. I put my head down on my desk and bury my face in that stupid clown sweater arms. My face is all hot and spit's coming out of my mouth because I can't stop the little animal noises coming out of me until there aren't any more tears left in my eyes. And it's just my body shaking like when you have the hiccups, and my whole head hurts like when you drink milk too fast. But the worst part is right before the bell rings for lunch. That stupid Phyllis Lopez, who's even dumber than Sylvia Saldivar, says she remembers the sweater is hers. I take it off right away and give it to her, and only Mrs. Price pretends like everything's okay. Today I'm 11. There's a cake Mom was making for tonight. When Papa comes home from work, we'll eat it. Then there'll be candles and presents, and everybody will sing happy birthday to you, Rachel. Only it's too late. I'm 11 today. I'm 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. But I wish I were 102. I wish I was anything but 11, because I want today to be far away already. Far away like a runaway balloon, like a tiny O in the sky. So tiny, tiny, you have to close your eyes to see it. Here's a tip for answering the questions on this. Don't focus on the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? I want you to think about the concept of that. You guys are 11 and 12. It means that being 12, all those years make you who you are. I'm old. All those years make me who I am. My circle's bigger. I want you to really think about this piece. Like I said, if we were in class and I was doing this and I was presented to be able to teach you, this would be a whole week's story. One of my favorite activities I've done with this book or with this story is my class made, we cut out sweaters in red construction paper, and we put all the ways they described the sweater on it. And then we hung them up in our classroom. So if you're so inclined, make a red sweater, explain all the beautiful words that Sandra Cisneros uses to describe this horrible sweater. Have fun with this story. It's a really, really wonderful story. So with that, I'm going to hopefully see some of you in a couple of hours. Yes, it's almost 8. And we will Zoom and we'll let it go. So peace out.